Hello, good morning on a Saturday morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are at. This is Dr. Brenda Roach, but you can just call me Brenda because it's just much easier. And I apologize, I haven't been on for the last couple days. I had some technical difficulties on Thursday, was not able to connect. And yesterday I was doing, helping out a family, doing an exchange out of town, several hours from Billings, between a set of grandparents, and was not able to have coverage until pretty late last evening. So I apologize for that. It wasn't very good planning on my part. But today I am going to be talking about self-talk and how that relates to how we can achieve our goals, how we set our goals, and how it can get in the way of us being able to really achieve the goals that we set out for. And then tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, I'll be coming back online and starting the next kind of series within this whole series. So it's moving into kind of triggers around eating, triggers around physical activity, and how to lay that out around our health and wellness goals. And so tonight at 8 p.m. I'll be talking around eating and triggers that can happen that cause us to maybe go derail or kind of get off track on our eating goals and our healthy eating. And so I hope you can join me as well, and that'll be 8 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're catching this live, please give me some some emojis, give me some thumbs up, let me know that you're here. If you catch this by replay, do hashtag replay and let me know where you're from and what you're finding helpful within this series as well. And so today again, this morning we're talking about self-talk. You know, everyone at times has troubles with our negative self-talk, and it really is what we say to ourselves. And oftentimes, we say things to ourselves that there is no way we would continue to be friends with people if they talk to us the way we talk to ourselves. And so we really need to look at what we're saying to ourselves and be kinder to ourselves than we often are. We're often our worst critic. We often are, most judgmental about ourselves and how we think about ourselves and what we say to ourselves. There's this little voice inside, that could be telling you that you're not working hard enough, that you're not worth it, that you should just give up on your goals. And again, if you think back to some of my earlier trainings about talking about our brain is really developed and, it's made to help protect us from feeling fear or feeling uncomfortable. And so if we feel uncomfortable or we have fear, we feel we're not able to do it, we feel we're not good enough to do it, our brain is going to protect us from that and basically stop us from doing those things we need to do to move forward, because then we're going to be in our comfort zone. And so anytime we're going to step out of our comfort zone, our brain is going to protect us from that by basically helping us do something else instead of doing what we need to do. And so it's a really important thing to be thinking about that. Our voice in our head is not always a rational voice. But simply by being aware of the dialogue or what we say to ourselves is a really important thing. So what we want to do is we want to try and replace, I can't see who's online on this new system I have, so I have to figure out how to get that so I can actually see the comments on who's online. So I appreciate whoever is here, and I will be able to respond to you in the comments after I'm done. And so an example of a negative self-talk that we might say to ourselves are, I'm never going to lose weight. I don't have enough willpower to lose weight, if it was a weight loss goal that you're looking at. So how you could rephrase that is basically just reframing it. So I can lose weight if I stay focused, if I complete a food journal, and I manage my stress in a more effective way. And so it's taking that thought that you have and figuring out how to countermeasure that. How can I set up a different way of thinking about it in my own head? And so if this is making sense to you, give me some heads up. If you ever have negative self-talk that you think gets in the way of you being able to achieve your goals, put a number 1 down in the comment section as well. And also, if you have ever been able to really be aware of that thought that you have in your head that stops you from reaching your goal and figured out a way to counteract that by reframing it or being aware that you're saying that to yourself, put a number 2 down below. So a number 1 down below if you've ever had a negative self-talk that's gotten in your way. of being able to achieve your goal, and put a number 2 down there if you've been successful already with being aware of that negative talk and actually been able to use a different way of stating it, and you have found that helpful. And then the other things that I want you to do this evening, and actually for the next, kind of almost week, is to really keep a journal and think about what are some challenging beliefs and thoughts that come up for you. All of us, some of us might be the same thing. So there's some common ones that people have, but we also might have some very individualized ones. So what are, the real kind of challenging thoughts, the negative self-talk that you do on a day-to-day basis that you believe is getting in the way of you achieving your goals? And so if you keep a journal over the next week and really document those, and then after you have those listed out, then what I want you to do is to go back and think about, how can I respond differently? What can I say to myself as a countermeasure to those negative self-talk? And I would love to, have you share those if you feel comfortable. You do not have to share those. But also if you come up with some that you're just really struggling with, kind of coming up with a different way of stating it to yourself, or a countermeasure, a different way of thinking about it, if you private message me, I'd be glad to give you some ideas on maybe a different way of thinking about that, so that you can start really kind of counteracting that self-talk in your head. Because our negative self-talk really is a critical thing. Again, we would not be friends with people often who would talk to us the way we talk to ourselves. So we really need to look at that, because that can really just stop us in our tracks from achieving our goals, because we can convince ourselves we can't do it. And again, our brain is going to take us to a place that's more comfortable. And so it's going to take us to a place that we then just stop doing it, or we change our goal. And so again, write down over the next week, what are some challenging beliefs and thoughts that you have that are getting in the way of you achieving your goals, and then coming up with a different way of restating that to yourself. And again, if you have some difficulties on doing that, or coming up with a different way of counteracting that, private message me and I'd be glad to give you some ideas on how to do that. I hope this has been helpful. If it's been helpful, give me some thumbs up. Let me know. If you're catching this by replay, put #replay down below if you feel, and let me know where you're from. And if you think this could be helpful for somebody else, please feel free to share it. And this evening, I'll be coming back online at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and we're going into a next section of this series, and we're going to be talking tonight about triggers around eating. So what are some of the triggers that come up for us if we're working on a healthy eating plan that kind of get us in, stop us from kind of continuing on that path? And we'll be talking about some triggers and some ideas on what you can do to overcome those. And so I look forward to talking to you this evening at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and continuing this series. And again, I apologize for the last 2 days where I have not been able to come online as well, but I'll see you this evening at 8 p.m. Mountain Time, and thank you for joining me. And I hope you have a great day. I know here in Billings, it looks like it's going to be a really nice day outside. So I hope wherever you're at that you have some nice weather and can get out and really enjoy it, and spend some quality time with yourself and your friends and family. So thank you again, and we will see you this evening.